God's a gentleman, but he will push you. He will push you. Let's talk about it. We all know that God does not want to force anything down our throat. He wants us to invite him into our lives, right? So that we know that we want, he's like, am I accepted here? Am I wanted here? And he's not going to be like, you accept me. Okay. But once you accept him and you open that door, it's like you gave him, freedom to be in control, because he is in control. You gave him the opportunity to lead and direct you, right? And so we know him as a gentleman, but it seems like as if once you accept him and you're like, yeah, I'm about to live for God, and then all of a sudden you don't want to do certain stuff, but he's telling you to do things, if he's directing your path and you're like, I don't want to do it, that's when we see God forcing and redirecting and detouring and pushing you back and forth so you can go where he is telling you to go. And many times we be thinking God be delaying us, right? We be thinking God is putting us on a detour, but it is us, our actions, what we do that delays wherever we're supposed to be going or puts us in a detour. Like Jonah, right? He was told to go do something, right? Jonah was like, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. So he gets on a ship. What happens on the ship? Crazy rain, torrential rain, whatever the word is, and the people on the boat was like, someone did this. Someone has made God upset, right? And then Jonah says, yeah, it's me. And he decides to go overboard. But it didn't stop there, because Jonah could have just died right there. But God was like, no, I'm telling you to go somewhere. And he gets swallowed by the whale, right? And then eventually he was like, okay, I'm gonna go. His disobedience and his unwillingness to do what God told him put him in a delay, put him in a detour, right? But God was like, no, you and I, you're part of this right now, so you are not gonna go and do what you want to do. So I think about my life and thinking about like how God be forcing me out of positions, forcing me to do stuff because I'm in denial, or I'm like, I don't want to give something up, right? I was forced. Let me tell you about my car, okay? So I was forced out of my car, my old car, my little car that I did not want to give up, you guys. It was paid off, didn't take up too much gas, but it was dying. It was falling apart, and I was not trying to hear it. I didn't even have AC for the past 3 years, and I live in Texas, y'all. I live in Dallas, Texas, and so you know that heat is heating, okay? And I wasn't comfortable driving, and so eventually, I won't go into too many details, but my car ended up dying, and I had to go get a new car. And then I also didn't want to give up my day job that I had. And I was just like, because it was just so nice to be able to work from home, and it was flexible and I could do multiple things. But God was forcing me, and I just was not trying to hear it. He was like, all of a sudden my checks started coming late. We didn't have health insurance. And I'm just like, you know what? I want a little more stability. So I was forced out of that position. It's like, okay, God is telling us to do certain things, but we ain't trusting, right? We are relying on our own, fears, what we desire, right? So I didn't want to give that up. And as soon as I finally was like, okay, let's do it your way, God, he gave me better. He gave me so much better. I got a nice new SUV, and I got a new job, and it's a leadership role. And I'm just like, but I had to be forced, unfortunately. And so I'm going to be working on that, allowing God to really just lead and guide me without being forced. I just want to be like, okay, God, let's do this, and not fear the unknown, but then also giving up that comfort, right? I was very comfortable and I didn't want to give that up. But God's like, we don't do comfortable around here, okay? So God's a gentleman when you first meet him and need him to be in your life. And he's like, okay, ask me and I'll be there. But then once you give up your life to God and be like, okay, God, I'm going to let you have control. Let him have control. And that's not just to you. That's for me. Like, I need to let him have control. Because what he has for you is greater. It is the best. It's better than what we be thinking it is. And so if you feel like you're being forced out of something, that might be God telling you got to make some moves and to trust that there's going to be better opportunities, okay? Y'all just be listening and watch where God is leading you to. And if you decide to let go and let God and it's amazing, let me know. Just comment in my comments, okay? I want to know all about it. All right, peace and blessings.